Hey, good morning. This is David with Cross Human Performance. Listen, today we're going to talk a little bit about functional balance. Okay, but before we get into that, we have to define a word, and that word is proprioception. We can't really talk about balance or functional balance until we kind of define what proprioception is. And proprioception is a fancy word that describes your brain being able to determine where your body is in space, right? So our brain has receptors that send feedback to the body, and it reads the biofeedback back, and it says, okay, I'm moving in a forward direction, I'm moving in a backward direction, I'm moving in a left direction, or I'm moving in a right direction. Okay, so we can affect proprioception in four ways, right? To the left, laterally; to the right, laterally; and then we're looking at a forward movement, and then we're looking at a backward movement as well. Okay, so we can affect proprioception those four ways. All right, now some things we can do to increase functional balance and to affect proprioception. The first one would be a bilateral lateral weight shift. Okay, that's where you would stand to a surface, like a sink or a chair, something that you could be stable at. Okay, you'll stand with your feet shoulder width apart, keeping your feet still on the floor. You're just going to shift your weight side to side. Okay, this affects bilateral lateral proprioception, right? The next way we can affect proprioception, anterior posterior, right? So same position, feet shoulder width apart at a stable surface, whether it's a chair or a sink or wherever you're comfortable at, right? And we're gonna raise up on the toes forward, and then we'll come back on the heels, lifting the toes up backward. Okay, right? So these are what we call static exercises for balance training. All right. Now we could also do dynamic exercises. Okay, and the way to do that would be in the form of bilateral lateral sidestepping. So usually how I educate on this, it would be standing at a sink. Okay, hands on the sink, facing directly forward, and then sidestepping the length of your counter, right? So start from one end to the counter to the other. Okay, whether that's, I usually recommend to start from left to right, right? So start at the left side, move to the right first, okay, and then come back to the left, side to side. And then we could do also forward and backward walking. Okay, so again, standing at the sink, right, facing forward, we would walk the length of the counter forward, and then you would walk the length of the counter directly backward. I usually recommend 2x5, where one rep is there and back one time, right? So by doing this, we're not only affecting proprioception statically, but we're also affecting proprioception dynamically as well, which will give us the opportunity to increase overall functional balance. So again, three ways to affect the balance. We're looking at static, we're looking at dynamic balance training. We can do it in the form of sidestepping, okay, left to right, right to left, however it works for you, okay, forward and backward walking, again, standing at the sink or somewhere where you're stable, and this will ultimately get you kick-started on your balance journey.